Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Touch Tales, Stories Behind the Hood. Here I am with my second threesome. Yeah, whatever. You guys can do whatever you guys want with that line. I'm very grateful because here we are, one of the God originals, and this is someone that I've been trying to do a conversation or have a conversation for the longest, and she just kept ditching me. It is what it is. Finally, we had a break. I'm like, oh, this is the time. I wonder what she's going to say next, if it's a no again. But the cool thing
It
about...
was never a no.
She is right. She is right. And before I even tell you who she is, for those of you that might not know, I just want to make sure that you guys also see this new conversation with my co-host, Melissa de Jesus. And you guys know her, she's been in a couple of the episodes, one of her own conversation, and then she got to ask me a little bit about myself. And today she's going to help me have a conversation with Allyson
Kostalnick.
So we're laughing because I am butchering, for some reason I'm butchering this last name so bad, and she said it a few times. I can still say, whatever. So Allyson, and what's your last name again?
Kostalnick.
Thank you to my guest that is so nice on helping me remembering and not remember her last name. Allyson, Melissa. First, thank you for taking a time again. Thank you for taking your time today. I know they're going to go play golf soon. So you know the deal.
Yes.
So the whole deal about this is just sharing light on the people in the welding industry and how they got here, what they do, and so on and so on. I know that you work for Superior Products, and what is your title now with them?
I'm general manager.
Okay, cool. So that's who she works for, and so does Melissa. And your title again there?
Sales and marketing manager.
They're all managers. So many managers. Now, Allyson, I'll ask a few questions, and I want Melissa to really pitch in and really kind of get to know you even more, even though you guys work together all the time, so probably there's nothing that new, but anyway, for me it is. Where are you from?
From Cleveland, Ohio.
Born and raised?
Born and raised.
And you're still there, right?
Yes.
How come? I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I know, this past winter it was gray and ugly.
Right?
Ugh.
And so growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, and with all the travel that you do now and experiencing and seeing part of the world and all that, what were you into and how was it growing up in Ohio?
In Ohio, I felt like I was kind of sheltered.
Okay.
I don't know.
In that sense, what do you mean?
Looking back, right? You know,
Shelter from the world?
Just from other things, right? So I grew up in western suburb of Cleveland.
Okay.
And went to the University of Toledo.
Okay. And you're already moving too fast.
Sorry.
You went to the University of Toledo, but
I
as
stayed
a
in
young
Ohio.
girl.
I stayed in Ohio, right?
Gotcha.
So, I did go on a European trip in high school.
Really?
Which was great. Got to see a little bit of the world, but
Nice.
it's just I didn't get to see as much as like when you think back, like, oh, I should have, would have, right?
We all do.
But when you're 16, 17, 18, you don't think like
Really?
that.
I know.
At least I didn't.
Especially because you're also going on somebody else's dime, and pretty much I'm not sure how that worked out, but
It was fundraising. I was a Girl Scout.
Oh, there you go. I know I should have done that. Yeah, I missed my way. But growing up as a little girl in Ohio, what were you into before you even got into that trip? Because at that moment, you're already kind of getting an idea of maybe a route that you want to take.
This
I
is
know.
going back.
Yes,
My memory, we've talked about this, my memory lately is
We're
lousy.
talking about childhood
So
trauma.
is mine. That's why I ask other people what they do, because I can't remember anything
Okay, what's your
anymore.
last name again?
Yeah. Yep.
So growing up, what was I into? I did marching band in high school.
Okay.
I was in Girl Scouts starting in like fourth or fifth grade.
Okay.
But that's it. I was kind of boring.
Yep.
Limited options.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to play soccer, and my parents kind of talked me out of it.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, interesting.
My brother played soccer, so I have a younger brother. And
That was
so-
my next question.
Yeah.
So do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, he's younger.
Yeah.
He played soccer and was a pitcher for baseball.
Oh, cool.
So I was like his groupie, I guess,
Yeah.
because I had to go to all the events,
Whether you liked it or not.
whether I liked it or
Yeah.
not. And I remember growing up, like eating dinner at like 8 or 9 o'clock because my brother had a baseball game. My dad was the coach, and so my
one of
mom would
those.
make dinner like super late at night and eating dinner so late and doing my homework at the
Yeah.
baseball fields. And I'm like, wait a minute, what about me?
That's not my thing, right?
This is my
Yeah.
brother, right?
Yeah.
So But no, it was, it was good, like the whole family dinner dynamic,
Wow.
right? We always had, my mom always ensured we did that.
That is very nice. And before I continue to ask you about your path and history into the industry, how is it working with Melissa? Before I ask Melissa, how is it working with
Oh, I get to go first.
Yes. Yeah.
So when I received this position at Superior Products, I knew who I was targeting for my replacement right away.
Really?
Yep. And
Huh.
I won the battle. I wore
Succession
her down.
plan. Succession plan. I see that. And what's your take?
On my position, how it's going, or how it's
Yeah.
working for Allison?
Correct.
All of the above? Okay, it's wonderful, actually. I came from a place where I was just overstressed. I didn't quite get a chance to find a balance of personal life and work. It felt like it was my work was taking over life. So since I joined Superior, it's been amazing. It's a great company to work for, a great team, and she's a wonderful leader of our entire group. So Jill spoke earlier, or at the regional, Jill just spoke earlier about leadership and treating people how you want to be treated. And I think Allison does a wonderful job doing that. She's always
Yeah.
going to have our backs and be an advocate for
That is true. I mean, and I only know you're looking from the outside in, and I think that's the same thing that we all see. And now that you guys complemented each other so well, when you went on that trip as a 17, 18-year-old, now that was your first exposure to the world,
Pretty
I'm
much,
assuming, right?
yeah.
What did you think about the world?
Trying to think back, it's been a long time. We went on a whirlwind tour of London, and I think we did 7 cities in 13 days. It was
Wow.
like we had 2 days per city.
Yeah.
And it was very, very fast paced and very just up early, late at night.
Gotcha.
And so that's kind of how I live my life now, though. And I
Right.
don't think it's the trip that did it, but I'm constantly like, what's the next thing? What's that checklist in my head? I
was
tell my
gonna say,
husband,
not
don't
much has
talk to me
changed,
right
yeah.
now. Everything you say, you say something to me and everything just falls out of my head. It's like I'm grasping for straws
I
here.
know.
Trying to
I
keep
need
it all
help.
together.
I've fallen. I can't get up. I get it. And so, did that already showed you a little bit of what you wanted or envisioned something that you wanted to do in your near future, before you came into the industry? Like you had an idea of?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So you come back, still no clue what you want to do.
Well, no. So that was the summer before my senior year.
Okay.
And I actually enrolled in the pharmacy program, to be a
Gotcha.
a pharmacist.
So you just wanted to
at
deal with
University.
drugs.
Yeah, I wanted to be a professional drug dealer.
I get it. Why not?
It's good money.
It's very good money. Clients, best customers ever.
write your own script.
Right? There you go.
Don't get caught.
Yeah, well, there's certain guidelines that you have to follow. I get it. But now you enroll in college, but that was your senior year in high school,
Yep.
right? But then once you go to college, what do you do next in college?
College was very eye-opening. I didn't struggle in high school for grades, and I learned very quickly in a couple semesters
So
how quickly that turned.
pretty much you're saying that you were very smart? Is that what you're saying?
No, I wouldn't say very smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
I
very
was.
smart.
I
Yeah.
think I was in the top 5%, but our class was relatively small.
You know, you guys know that I've talked to a few people out there, and every once in a while they're just way smarter than I am. And every time I hear this, like, yeah, I was a great student and I did this, I'm like,
Here we go
"Jeez,
again."
but, yeah, can we start again and can you dumb it a little for us? So that's awesome. So eye-opening college,
Yep,
because
definitely.
now pharmacy is no longer in your radar. Or was
I
it
did
still?
I did change my major,
To-
so engineering.
But what? So I have
See?
a question.
See?
So what made it hard in college versus high school? Was it?
I had to
it
study.
The workload. Okay.
I had to study.
It was difficult. Got it.
I just didn't retain. Maybe
That's where
it's all
that-
coming together now.
See, this is what this does. This is what this does right here,
It started in college. What did I do in college that was so bad?
Hmm.
That all the information
Or
just
so good,
maybe. No,
So
I was
now
the
you change.
firstborn. I was a good kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made my
Boring.
parents'
Just
life
kidding.
easy. Oh, I'm totally lame.
Yeah.
Went to bed at
I
9
don't think
o'clock
you're
last
not.
night.
Maybe you were, but not anymore. So now you change your major to become an engineer. What kind of engineer?
Bioengineer.
Oh my God! You just Jesus Christ.
I know, right?
You know, these smart people, they're killing me.
I didn't say I used the degree. I just said I got it.
Oh,
With
How do
a
you
little
get
help
it?
from my friends.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you liked it and you went for that because it was either your circle that you had a few friends that were gonna go into, and I'm like,
Yeah.
sure, let's do that. That was
It
pretty
was
much
a new program that they were accrediting at the University of Toledo. They have a really, really good engineering school, so I kind of lucked out. And then a couple of my inner circle were switching their majors.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, oh, sounds good.
Yeah. There you go.
Calculus was fun.
Really?
Oh, no.
I'm like, well, if you say that really seriously, I'm
Well,
like,
it was better than organic chemistry.
yeah, I took all of that too, just so you guys know.
We're in the same class.
I never
Yeah,
passed
yeah, we're-
organic
yeah.
chemistry. I didn't need to.
Yeah. 4 years later, college is done.
5.
5.
Took me.
She
I
liked
was
it
on the
so
5-year plan.
much. I would just want to stand next to her here. So 5 years later,
Yes.
and what happened next? Now you have your diploma, you got your title, you got the whole thing. Are you trying to get a job under?
It would have been nice.
It would have been nice.
They did not offer. Well, they didn't require internships for us.
Oh, I see.
And so, kind of like, oh, I should have gone backpacking across Europe and all those regrets, right? I should have pushed more for myself,
Yeah.
been more an advocate, and wanting to do and better myself rather
Gotcha.
than just finish it and get home.
I see. So what did you start doing then?
I came home and started working retail,
Okay. What kind of retail?
women's clothes.
All right. So, in a way, that's your first exposure to customer service,
Probably, yeah.
right?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's all coming together.
It's all coming together. I think I always said this, like every one of us or everyone should always have some sort of starting job in customer service. Exposure to customers' complaints and whatever, so it really helps for what it's about to come in your life. So how long were you doing retail?
I was in retail, so I graduated college in 2000, and I started my first job in the industry in 2005, so 5 years.
Oh.
I had a fantastic mentor in retail. She was our store manager, and I followed her to a couple different two brands. So I
Yeah.
started at Casual Corner,
Okay.
dating myself. Well, I just
I didn't ask. You already said 2,000. You guys
I
were
already
doing
said
numbers like,
2000,
well,
yeah, backing it up,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we closed that location that we were at, and then she went to Ann Taylor, and I went and followed her there. And she always, Allyson, you have a degree, you're not staying here.
Wow.
You are gonna get a job and get out of here. And I left her
Wow,
right
that's
before
awesome.
the holiday season.
Good call. Good call. That's
And
insane.
It's actually, well, it's like, are you going shopping on Black Friday? Oh, heck no. I don't
Yeah.
go back to that. I'm done. I don't,
Yeah.
anything online, that's the best way. It like scarred me for life.
Yeah, it's a thing. I get it. I did it once, Black Friday. I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't care how much I'm going to
did?
save. I'm never going to do this again.
People are crazy.
They are. So you said that 5 years later, you got into the industry.
I did.
How did you
And
get
I
into
didn't
it?
know what I was getting into.
Okay, well,
We
none
never
of us.
do.
See how that just happened? None of us do. So 5 years later, you get into the industry. At what level, and for who, and what were you doing?
So this was old school. I answered a newspaper clipping
Oh my Lord.
for inside sales at a company called, and I don't know if they called themselves Western Enterprises or Western Medica, but it was the medical division, the medical side of Western Enterprises. The Scott Fencer company.
Was there something on the medical word that attracted you because of?
Probably because of the pharmacy background, yeah.
Yeah.
And my bioengineering.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you didn't know exactly what it was.
I had no
because the
idea.
clipping just, you can.
I
put that much
need to get out of
information.
retail. I would like to travel a little bit, and this seemed like the ends.
Okay.
The means to the end.
So you applied. You don't know what the industry is, what that business is yet.
Nope.
What was your first title?
Inside sales.
Inside sales.
Yep, Western
And
Medica.
were you traveling already right away? with
No,
them?
they gave me a territory after like 6 or 9 months.
Gotcha.
So, but I was doing like phone outreach to customers that hadn't bought. They were launching a new regulator. Oh, here's a good one.
Oh,
Like 2
please
weeks
share.
in, I got recruited, and I was their oxytote model.
all right, hold on. Wait.
They had to do a photo shoot for one of their products,
And you were the-
and I got to hold it and
Hold it,
model
yeah?
and look like a nurse,
Almost
or I
full-
guess a
almost full
respiratory
circle.
therapist. Yes,
Yeah. So can we still find that clipping somewhere, that magazine maybe?
I have a copy of it.
Oh my God. Please send it so I can put an image on this because we all want to see this, right?
My hair was all pulled back. I was a
Yeah.
lot younger looking, more youthful. It was before kids.
Oh, well.
You know what they do to us.
Tell me how you really feel. And so now how long were you there?
I was there 5 years.
5 years. And were you always just doing you said that you started traveling a little bit, 6, 7 months after or something. How much traveling? Was it regional? Was it national?
So for the medical, when I was on the medical side, I was pretty much national.
Okay.
So I would call on anybody using those types of products. So I was
Gotcha.
all over the country.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. That's one of my strengths is planning a trip, right? I
Oh,
can
really?
plan it down to the quarter hour.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So you don't leave
meticulous.
you don't do 80-20, you don't leave that 10-20% for the,
Oh no, I do, but I know how long LA traffic, it's 20 minutes down the road, better plan 2 hours.
Okay,
Right?
well, there you
So
go.
I got really, really good at planning all those trips. That's what I'm like, ooh, maybe I should be like a travel agent or
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, we kind of
My
are
next
in a
life.
way. We're always planning so much traveling in this industry. And do you guys travel together a lot?
I mean,
She travels like a crazy person.
we're currently on a trip together.
All
Are we not?
right. Aside from this one, I gotta, yeah. Aside from this one, do you guys travel
A
together?
couple
lot?
times a year,
Yeah.
just for industry
Specific
events.
shows.
Yeah, this week we're industry event at Gata Regional.
Where
but
are we
then,
again?
We're in Marietta.
Cold, Marietta, Georgia.
Marietta, Georgia, and it's colder than it should be.
Yep.
But yeah, we're here for 2 days for the show, and then sales calls for 2 days out here. So
Cool. That's awesome. 5 years there. What came next after Western?
So my husband and I wanted to start a family,
Okay.
and being gone. So when towards the last 6 months of my time there, they gave me an industrial territory just because it wasn't cost effective to send 2 people to California when I was calling on medical and somebody else is calling on industrial customers. It didn't make sense financially. So just give me a territory. I'm
Yeah.
done trying to chase this down, trying to, because the respiratory market had tanked at that
Oh,
point.
really?
Yeah, it wasn't. There was competitive bidding for
Gotcha.
Medicare and things like that, and it was getting harder and harder to sell American-made products
I see.
in that space.
That market, yeah.
Yeah. So they gave me an industrial territory. So I had Louisiana. I was just recalling this: Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and they were going to give me Tennessee. So I would fly in to southern part of the state and then spend all week, put 1,000 miles on a rent-a-car, and leave out of Shreveport or
Yeah.
Memphis or something like that. And I was gone every other week. My husband's friends thought it was great. How did you get rid of your wife for a week
Right, yeah.
at a time? So I just said, I've had enough. So I got a territory for, actually it was compression hosiery. So
That was the name of the company?
No,
Or
it
the
was-
division.
that was what I sold. That
Oh,
was
I
the
see.
product.
Oh,
Was
got it.
compression hosiery.
Got it.
For medical. So I was
Yeah.
calling on pharmacies, right? Coming back to,
See?
yeah. So the company was based out of Cincinnati. I had Northern Ohio. And I was there for about 6 months, and it didn't work out. And I learned quite a bit. Actually, it was more like 9 months, because I think I started in June and I left in April.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after that, it didn't work out. That's life.
I had a couple different jobs in that
Yeah.
tenure, that spot, yeah.
But those in the industry as well?
No.
Oh, so you.
Well, kind of, because I went from there, I was unemployed for 107 days.
Wow. The fact that she remembered.
That I remember.
107 days.
I don't
She
know why
didn't
I
say
remember
3
that.
months, a couple of months.
107 days, and then I went for Invacare, which is a huge employer, or was at the time a huge employer in Lorraine County.
Okay.
to do inside sales again there.
Gotcha.
And then I was walking into work on my third day of employment, and I got the call for my dream job.
Okay.
So I was doing.
But that dream job, you had already planted that seed. You had already talked to someone. How did they know about you?
Yeah, so I had applied for the job. It just took them a long time to reach out to me.
And this dream job was?
Selling dental products into dental offices.
That was your dream job?
Well, it was because it was back to
Everybody has a dream.
outside sales.
Yeah.
Outside sales. So when you're thinking about, now I'm doing sales, and I really did, like the whole pharmacy thing.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
everybody's making tons of money being a pharmaceutical
That is
rep.
true.
And I think they recruit those people right out of college, so that was off the table. But hey, dental sales, I could get into, And my mom actually was an office manager all my growing up in a
Gotcha.
dental office. So
Okay.
I grew up in a dental office, so it seemed like the perfect fit.
Right?
Yeah, that
Well,
lasted
I
2.5
can
years.
see the excitement in your face, Yeah, it was awesome.
It was awesome. But so what I learned from at the end of that job there is I like to know my products. And when you're a distributor, you've got so many products that you can't know
Really, yeah,
them,
correct.
right?
There's no way of doing justice to everyone.
Yeah, so I love manufacturing,
Really?
which goes another full circle because my grandmother was a screw machinist for Moen.
Look at that.
And
So there's
that's
a
what we
full
do.
circle here.
We turn
full
brass
circle here.
at Superior Products.
All right. So
Manufacturing's
2.5
amazing.
years,
Yep.
and then that's when you came to the industry back again. After that.
Yes, there was a summer off,
Okay.
not by my choice, but
Gotcha.
it was a blessing in disguise.
Okay.
And then I took a job. Oh my God, I hated it. I took
Tell
a
me
job.
more.
I took a job, and it was for a chemical manufacturer.
Okay.
And again,
It wasn't your cup of tea.
no, I did not like. I took it out of necessity.
I see. We
So,
all have. We've
my
all been there.
son was 2,
Yes.
and I needed to get back in the workforce.
To get out of the house. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I took the job, and then Donna calls me, literally 3 days later. And I had already heard through the grapevine that Donna Conrad left Western and is at
Yeah.
Superior Products. And I'm like, what?
Right.
This is earth shattering. So I got a call from her.
Huh.
And I'm so glad that she called me.
Really.
You didn't bring up Donna Conrad though. For everybody else watching, who's Donna Conrad?
Donna Conrad was so she worked I met her at Western, and then she recruited me to work for Superior Products. She was hired on at Superior to be the sales and marketing manager there when she left Western. But she was at Western for 40 years. And I was her retirement plan at Superior Products.
So I see. Yeah, I see what's happening here.
Yeah,
I see what's
connect all
happening.
the dots.
Yep. Wow. So now you're back into the industry,
And I did not ever, so people say that, right?
Yeah.
And when I left Western, oh, you'll be back. I'm like, oh, heck no.
Yeah, right.
I think Donna was probably the one that told me, so she wanted to prove herself right.
Really.
That's probably what
That
it
worked
was.
out for her.
So when you come back as what? What position then?
Product manager,
Because how long have you been now with Superior?
9 years.
9 years. And total, how long were you with the other company?
Western, 5 years.
5 years. And so what is the one thing that you love about the industry, about what you do, and that for Superior as a whole?
So I got back in the industry for a chance to work with Donna and grow my career.
Okay.
Right, and obviously that's what I think has happened.
Yeah.
At least I feel like it has.
I think, yeah.
So it just seemed like I wanted to work for somebody that I enjoyed working with and being with. And it wasn't so much the products or the industry that drew me
Correct.
back in. It
Yeah.
was her, and it was connections. It's the
There you go.
networking, right? So she called me up, and she's like, I want you on my team. And she called me in late September. We met in November, and I realized, she's like, I have a bunch of shows I have to go to, and I won't be back until November. It was FabTech. So
Gotcha.
she and I met, and it took until February for her to be able to hire me.
Really. So I see in a way, based on that story that you're sharing, that it's almost like the same thing that you have done or that you are trying to do pass it forward and be,
I like to hope so.
yeah, and I know that somebody else has to say that, to you or to anybody else to see if they feel the same way about what you're doing, the way you're doing things, and it seems like you feel the same way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And being in the industry now, a seasoned person in the industry, what would you say it's the biggest change you've seen in the last 5-7 years? And we know, we always talk about, well, technology and this and that, but that's like, we all know that.
Right.
Aside
That
from
AI
that.
presentation really opened my eyes,
Right,
right?
yeah.
I was trying to bury my head in the sand because I was afraid of AI, but that actually really helped.
Yeah.
But besides technology, gosh, I wish I had a good answer. I mean,
I'll give you
still
some
see
hints.
it from
Sometimes
my
it's people, sometimes it's wholesale, sometimes it's independent, sometimes it's all these things that continue to change, and sometimes it's. Have you seen a bigger change for the better, for the worse?
Right now, I mean, we hear it all the time, right? It's people, right?
Yeah.
It's, you see a lot more young people, young professionals is growing with
Thank you.
CGA and GATA,
Yeah.
right? There's two
Yeah.
groups that have been acutely aware of, trying to
These-
get new people in, right? And getting them trained and before you have the knowledge that leaves, that
Yeah.
retires, right? And so, yes, I have noticed that. I wish I could say that I've been at the forefront because I haven't been. It's more of like I'm standing back and observing and watching it all happen.
Yeah, and I know I asked Melissa this question. Being a woman in the industry, did you ever notice a different approach on how people would deal with you versus some counterparts? Maybe not now because you're very well known, but when you were starting.
Donna's told me stories
Oh, really?
when she started in the industry, and I actually never experienced really any of that. I would say, I get some passes, like with golf and
Yeah.
things like that when we're here networking.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I was treated any differently
Okay.
or seen any differently. Until, in a positive light, I think the title of general manager has helped open a few more doors for me.
Yeah, because your title changed, right? And how long ago did that change?
Year and a half,
Year and a half ago. And what was your title before?
sales manager.
Sales manager. All right, I got it. Yeah, my fingers are, I can't keep up with my fingers. It changed because a superior, was that your decision? Like, hey, we need to
Oh, I
do
did
some
not
changes?
even see it.
No,
Oh, no,
Oh.
no. This one came and hit me out of the blue.
really?
Oh, yeah. I never told you that story?
No.
Just between you and me? You want to hear the story?
Yeah, sure. yeah.
I'm like, do I tell the story? Do I not tell the
Please
story?
do.
So the previous general manager, he comes into my office, and he had been with the company for 21 years. And he's looking at me. I'm like, why are you smiling at me like that? And then he shuts the door. I'm like, why are you smiling like that? And shutting my door. And then he sits down. I'm like, all right, why are you sitting down smiling at me with
Still
the door
going through
shut?
the list, right?
Right? And I'm looking at him, looking straight at him. He's like, I just gave my resignation. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. And in those 2 seconds, right, I'm like, oh no, Ian. And I throw my head back. And as I'm sitting up, he's like, and I named you as my successor. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And there was some words that came out of my
Of
mouth
course.
that I can't repeat here.
Yeah.
But I told him he was effing nuts. I told him that I couldn't do this. I told him, you're crazy. What are you smoking? And he looked at me, and all of a sudden, I started going through the list. Well, what about this person?
Right.
What about this person? What about, well, I can certainly do it better than anybody corporate would send up here. I could do it better than anybody off the streets. And by now, I'm bawling.
Really?
I am crying. I'm like, oh my God, you're right. An ugly cry.
Wow.
Ugly cry.
Wow.
I'm like, you're right. I could do it better than anybody else. and there's 64 people here that are counting on me. And he's like, 63. I'm
Right?
like, shut up.
Wow, that's awesome that someone, I love those stories because when someone sees something in you that sometimes you haven't, and sometimes it crosses your mind like,
I still don't see it.
I can do that, But it's always nice to have a mentor or someone that, hey.
I've had a lot of very, very talented people that I've been able to work with.
That is awesome. And now tell me a little bit of what you know that Superior does, because I'm going to ask you the same thing, and I want to see if the answers are the same. What is Superior?
Well,
Yeah, what do you guys do at Superior?
we manufacture brass fittings, nuts, nipples. We do manifold systems as well, pigtails, things
Okay.
like that.
High pressure,
Adapters.
low pressure.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
All
she's
right.
way smarter than knows our product way better than I do.
I
so.
was the product manager. I should.
She should. What's the vision of Superior? Like, how do you guys go about getting out there and trying to get business?
So we strive on having customer service representatives that have the knowledge.
Okay.
So we go to market differently than our competition.
Okay.
So we have to have the answers, and our competition is kind of, well, we'll let people answer that their own question there. But we want to be able to, kind of like my vision, right? I like to know my products. We are the ones that know our products.
Correct.
So if you have a question about our products, you can call us, you can email us, and get that response and know that you have confidence. We have people that are so well tenured in the industry.
Right.
They're so knowledgeable on what we do and how we do it and what matches and what you have to do, and no, you can't do that, but you can do it this way. It's amazing.
Alternative answers, not just a no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long has Superior been around?
Since 1946.
46. Mm-hmm. Wow. So that's 77.
Something like that.
Yeah. And where are they based out of?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, I see. Convenient. How much of a area does Superior cover as a whole? Are you guys also global or more U.S. based or?
So the compressed gas industry is really a North American thing,
Okay.
and other areas have adopted it, like Latin America.
Correct.
Right. We sell internationally, but it's mainly North America, South America. There are a few pockets here throughout the world, or we sell, NPT fittings, or we kind of dabble in some of the DIN and maybe some AFNOR fittings for France, British Standard.
Gotcha.
So, and we have the ability to make pretty
Correct.
much anything within size and
Of course.
material
Yeah.
limitations. It's just trying to find that opportunity.
Got it. You are married and you have a son?
2 sons,
2. How old are they?
11 and 6.
And I know they're into karate or something? Or like
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo,
Yep.
right. And so are you.
I am.
Yeah? So what level are you? Like what color belt are you?
My belt, just got my brown belt a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my son's getting his black belt in a couple weeks. I'm
Oh.
so proud of him.
That's awesome. And you are what belt?
None of your business.
Yeah. yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm on
Just
a
like,
Puerto Rican belt. I will whoop your ass regardless
just like
of
I
my
am,
belt
right?
color.
I know, that's, it still works. So you said succession plan earlier, and that you looked and you already had your eye on someone that you wanted to come in. So what does that mean in years, in a vision? Because you're thinking that, and you were looking for somebody, and now you have found it, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to be in the industry for a while, or you have a plan.
So, one of the things that becoming general manager really opened my eyes to was the opportunity to help people, right?
Okay.
So we all like to think that, right? My husband's a teacher. He works with children and he teaches them music and he enriches their lives, and I'm like, I sell brass fittings.
Yep. Lots of nipples. Yep.
Yep. So, when I became general manager, it came very, very, it gave me that vision for my personal self,
Got it.
right? That, just like I said, right, there's 60 plus people here, and to be able to, have them work, keep them employed, bring a decent paycheck home to their families, and have health insurance, right? And try to grow some of the talent that we have and do bigger and better things. That gave me my personal kind of mission.
Gotcha.
The vision for Superior is, do it better than our competition,
Correct.
keep selling, expand product offerings. It all takes time, it all takes capital.
Gotcha.
It's now my job is to go to corporate and say, no, we need some attention over here. We
Yeah.
need capital. We can do this. We can expand this.
Got
We
it.
can do better here.
You are 100% right. I think whenever we are given the opportunity to have, I'm going to use a poor choice of word, power, but it is our job to pass it forward, to try to teach, to try to help someone, because at the end of the day, anyone can make a living, make money here, make money there, but if you don't go to bed, if you 2 years from now you can look back and say, you know what, I feel good about myself because I know that I did it for the right reasons. I was able to help others, and I can see that in this circle or these few people that now I can see them grow and so on and so on. Short goals for you in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
To have the product knowledge that my GM and my product specialist have on our products specifically, and to really, my goals specifically at Superior is to have a better understanding and grip on where we can grow. She's talked about expanding our product lines and growing our business. It's where to know and make sure the timing is right. So there's a lot of opportunities in the market. We have competition, obviously, but there's a lot of opportunities that are wide open that allow us the opportunity to do that. So we try to make sure that we're capitalizing on those. And I mentioned on a previous call, our previous conversation that we did, that we utilize independent manufacturers, reps, and we lean on those relationships like fairly heavily, strong relationships, because they have really great
connections,
connections with owners and the decision makers, and whoever's given the blessing to changing over vendor. So I'm hoping that we can fill out, with my travels and relationships, can fill out our map, our area map, to make sure we've got the whole U.S. covered, and then looking into expanding into Canada and South America, where we can grow. We've got a lot of great partners that help us currently in those areas, so we're trying to compete with them and do that professionally, but how can we support them in that growth so that we can have more of that market share. So.
And let me give her a call out. So she has been doing a marvelous job in the last year and a half that we've been with Superior Products, a little over a year, growing so we put our customers in 3 different areas. So we have medical OEMs and distributors. We have industrial OEMs, and then we have gas distributors. And that's where she's been focusing. It's our most profitable part of our business.
Makes sense.
It is a lot of relationship type. And so her coming to these events, working with the reps, this woman is out. She travels so much. I was just telling somebody, I'm like, she travels like a crazy person. I could not, at this time in my life, travel as much as she does. When I became sales manager, Donna retired at the end of 19. We know what happened in 2020. And I kind of got a free pass, and I fell into bad habits. Right? It's like, well, I can't travel with anybody. I'm not allowed to. They don't want me. The gas distributors don't want us in there. They've got bigger things to worry about. So they're not entertaining reps. So I'm like, well, sorry, I don't have to travel, right? And I fell into really, really bad habits. So it was perfect that she was able to join the team and just enhance that side that I was kind of lazy about.
Well, that's exactly how it works. You gotta just hire people that are stronger, than you in certain areas, and then you just put your knowledge your knowledge into them.
And her efforts are really reflected in that.
Cool.
So the reason I came down here, one of the reasons was so we can call in some of the OEMs in the neighborhood and really
makes sense.
Find those opportunities.
It's nice to hear both sides of you definitely sharing not only the passion for the industry, but what you guys think about each other, and definitely supporting each other, because that's, again, we keep saying, going back around, that's what it takes. That's what you should do regardless of what you do in life. I want to thank you both for many reasons, not only for your friendship, for always making it fun. Every time I see you, I see Melissa more because she's traveling more. But every time I see you and both of you, I smile. It's the kind of people that I want to be seen, that I want to be around, because you guys are just good people. And so I wish you the best in your
head kicking opportunities.
Yes. Yeah. And that you are killing it
I haven't done that yet, but
Oh,
that was really close.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kicked a woman in the head.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Good for you.
I
bad
kick
for
old
her.
ladies in the head.
Yeah. Hey, nobody's perfect, but it sounds like fun. I wish I could do the same thing. Not really. But thank you again for spending the time, taking the time to having this conversation. You guys know that this is all about just sharing that perspective and light on other people's journey into the industry. And I hope so far, started out of a whim, I'm like 40 something in, and for whatever reason, people are watching it. Don't ask me why. It's probably because of Melissa. I actually know because it's because of Melissa.
For sure not. I think
Yeah.
I've said 15 words this whole episode.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. This was really more about you and getting to know you and sharing your side of the story to the 2 viewers that keep watching consistently.
Well, I'm one.
Yeah, I know, and I'm the other one. And the 3 of us were killing the views. Yeah. But thank you for everything you do for the industry. Because I know that behind doors, you also help a lot of other things, with God and this and that and other events. So we need people like you, and definitely I'm honored to know you and call you a friend. Yes. So thank you very much for allowing me to spend this time. All right, and thank you too. And anything else that you would like to share about yourself?
Oh, I could talk
Spirit?
about myself for hours, but we won't.
Well, there you go.
We gotta get to go.
They gotta get
So-
to
We gotta
go.
go.
But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something from somebody else in the industry. Keep watching, keep supporting the channel. This is what this whole thing is all about. And I'll see you somewhere else with somebody else. Thank you guys.
Have a superior day.
Wow, I like that. All right.